everybody. Welcome to the show today. We are live, man. Um, and you see the title, Happy Mardi Gras. I know some people, they in their Black History Month bag or whatever they got going on, but yeah, we got a lot we want to discuss on this episode. I'm diving into the black coaches, the black coaches. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna play a few exhibits from Cam Newton, a few exhibits from my boy Jason Whitlock. Of course, I add my commentary to it. But I want to open with this. You know, I see a lot of my childhood friends, and sometimes they'll reach out to me via social media and ask me why they don't see me, why I'm never here, or why I'm never there. Well, it's because I'm a RSVP type of dude. And it's not because, oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna say I don't hang with black people. I don't hang with white people. I don't hang with no people who identify with their race. I hang with Americans. What I learned about hanging with Americans is people who love America. And people who love America, they won't partake in destroying it for themselves or for the people around them. And now, of course, that would currently lead me to hanging with more white people because they're raised to love their country. Um, we are raised in our community to hate it. So that's why we don't have no problem with destroying it. We look at our neighborhoods, and I'm not gonna go too down that rabbit hole. Y'all already know what it is. You feel me? And so that's what I tell people. I hang with Americans, people who love their country. Um, and that's one of the reasons why I do this. That's one of the reasons why I'm trying to change the narrative. Because black people just don't understand how powerful they are. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was telling them, black people are very powerful. Although they 13% of the population, they have so much influence on other people. Let's just say out of those 13% of black people, and I really, the conservative thing, I don't really like, but I'm gonna use it in this analogy. Let's say out of that 13%, 10% of them, or even half. But I'm gonna speak my prayers into existence. 10+% out of that 13% of black people was conservative. Number one, all of these white liberals, which is growing in numbers, they would automatically have to be conservative because they found it to blacks and think that black people is black. So black people come out of that victim mindset and say, look, hey, we love America. This country is nowhere in the world that's better for us as black people or anybody but America, and begin to love our country. Um, it would have so much influence on the other people, so much because you got people in overseas countries. You got people that never even been to America, and they think from watching tabloids on social media that black people are oppressed in this country, which is so far from the truth. It don't even make no sense. Black people actually are the most privileged people in America. They can say whatever they want about anybody. They can do whatever they want about anybody. They can have all of these things that specifically for them, colleges, businesses, a month. You know what I'm saying? And nobody else can do this. Um, Jesse Lee Peterson, Jesse Lee Peterson started the White History Month thing, which is just hilarious. Which is just hilarious, and it's kind of like a parody toward Black History Month, but it's just people get outrageous with it. He got T-shirts made and everything, and he actually an older black guy who was raised on a plantation, right? Shout out Jesse Lee Peterson, man. He a great one, national treasure. And but if we as a people would get it together it would have so much influence on this country. You would see a change overnight. But I'm saying that's why I do what I do. And all of the other black conservatives. I know some of us sometimes come off as if we picking on black people. That's not what that is. It's called constructive criticism. And we look at the black community as our children. And what I mean by that is, if you have a child, you know one thing. If this child goes everywhere, and everywhere he go, whether it's school, summer camp, family, everywhere he go, he get a bad report. And when he get home, instead of you discipline him and, and dealing with the situation, you tell him it's not them, it's you, it's not you, it's them. This child is going to burn out. He's going to end up being a horrible person, and he's going to go. He's going to have a very, very, very self-destructive life. But you're not going to do that if you love your children. For the people who have children, you're going to discipline your children with love. Not only because what they do represents you, but because you want them to understand that in life, good things bring good and bad things bring bad. I'm also a proponent of gifting your children and praising them and treating them. Just like if you're gonna whip them when they do something wrong, I'm big on when they do get good grade, when they do good deeds, that get the same type of energy. But we have to make sure we have that balance. Whereas if they is out of line, they have to be disciplined. How will you discipline your children? Whether it's physically, through grounding them, punishing them, however you do it, it has to be done, because if not, the child's going to just go out of control, and the world will discipline them for you, and that's not what you want. But I digress. Um, and so yeah, and so some of us black conservative, I know a lot of them. I didn't realize this in the beginning, but I see a lot of them. They buy other things, ulterior motives, but the core message is changing the narrative on black people, the way we think, the way we move, the way we act, right? Because again, and this coming from me, it's going to, once we change, that's why I'm so proud of Nicki Minaj, somebody with that power, that following, to be speaking out. And she don't have to do this. This is another reason why I love Trump. These people jumped in that water and swim against the current for no reason. They was rich. They could have just sat down at the table like everybody else and just went with the flow. But they did, and I believe that's God. I believe that's God using these people, whether they know it or not. Because again, these things on the outside, even Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, he could have easily chose the liberal side, but he chose the right side, and we seen what happened to him. His companies was getting destroyed, and people was destroying Tesla. Just it's clear to see for all who got eyes to see who's the evil part and who's the side of right, who's the righteous side. I didn't say perfect, but who's righteous. Um, do with that what you make. But I want to go back to my initial opening. Um, I don't hang with people that identify with race, whether it's Mexican, black, white. I hang with Americans because, as for mentioned, people who are American, they love their country, and people who love their country, they will not partake in destroying it for themselves or the ones around them. And so, why am I saying that? Um, in my home state of Louisiana, everybody familiar with something called Mardi Gras. Now, it started in New Orleans, from my understanding. It started in New Orleans. I know they got the thing they say we're kind of carnival, and it started in another country, Brazil, whatever. But I'm just saying, from my understanding of the Louisiana origin, people come from all over the world to go on Bourbon Street, which is a great experience in New Orleans. And over the last, I want to say 20 to 30 years, what has happened is people have, because New Orleans is very dangerous, people have started doing their own New Orleans in other cities and towns in Louisiana. And so over the weekend, what better way to bring in Black History Month than having a shooting that injured 6 people, one being a 6-year-old child at a Black gathering somewhere where, again, I would have never been. And how do I know? How do you know? Well, how would you know if these people are black or white or American? You can see, first of all, if you're a spiritual person, you can see what type of energy that they have on. I don't see people, I see spirits. But if that fails, you can see the way people carry themselves. Like if I go to a situation and I see a certain type of person, how they dress, how they carry themselves, I already know what's to ensue or what could possibly ensue, right? And so, like I say, man, we're gonna play this video. Who a woman who was actually at the live stream. I mean, she was at the parade and live stream it. Um, and we're gonna let that play, and then we're gonna get into this live about black coaches getting hired, why they didn't get hired, what can we do about it, and how I feel about the whole situation. But without further ado, let's get into this. Hope y'all can see it. I'm gonna cut that light off. There's so many young people out here. What they doing? Look, I'm watching too. That's why I'm saying that's why they stop. Is that you doing? Oh my God! Who is that? The gang, come here! Come here! Batman! Batman! Batman, come here! Y'all better find y'all people. Somebody dead over there. Oh my God! Is somebody dead? They laying on the ground. Batman, come here! Batman!
Absolutely unbelievable. 6 people were shot today, including a child at a Mardi Gras parade. This is truly getting out of hand. The video you just saw was the moment the shooting occurred. This was at a parade in Louisiana after gunfire rang out on Saturday, January 31st. According to reports, the child is in critical condition, or at least that was the last update I saw. The shooting took place outside of the East Feliciana Parish Courthouse, which is in Clinton, Louisiana. This was at around 12:20 p.m. today. As of now, no fatalities have been reported, luckily. It was said the town of Clinton had just started their 21st annual Mardi Gras in the Country parade, but it was all immediately shut down after the shooting, of course. 3 suspects are reportedly in custody, but police are still searching for a vehicle that was somehow involved in the shooting. Reportedly, AirMed and several police agencies responded to the scene of the shooting at the parade. As you saw at the beginning of this video, a woman by the name of Teresa Wells was on a live on Facebook. She was recording live, where at first she was having fun listening to music and socializing with her friends. And that was before the gunfire rang out. It was obvious she kind of saw something going on with some young people. She was wondering what they were doing. She thought at first they were fighting, which I guess they were. She then ran for cover and she screamed for her loved ones, and you could hear a child in the background screaming and crying. It has since been said this is very shocking because things like this just don't happen in that area often. According to reports, the Louisiana State Police took over the investigation. They blocked off several streets near the courthouse as people were ushered away. Reportedly, Clinton is a pretty small town. It's located about 100 miles away from New Orleans. This is so sad. Please keep all 6 shooting victims in your prayers that they heal quickly and fully, especially that child in critical condition. We truly just can't go anywhere anymore, and it's sad. For more true crime, be sure to follow and subscribe over on YouTube.
Everything you lost wasn't taken from.
And there you have it, man. I mean, we're in the time now where, as this woman said, you can't go nowhere, especially when I hate to say it, but I will say it. It is what it is, because again, as a community, as a black community, we have to have these hard conversations. We have to have these hard conversations collectively, because see, there's a lot of black people that don't even move like that, don't act like that. They civilized, they educated, they holy, all of those things. But the problem with them is they don't say nothing. When stuff like this take place, they keep quiet, they don't say nothing. And the people who do say something about it, they get ousted, they get name called, insulted, and all that stuff like that. So what it does is it scares people. Look what they doing, Nicki Minaj. They and I've been through it. I've been in this for 8 years. They gonna beat you to a pulp, and they want you to capitulate, right? You're not to capitulate. You are to stand for what's right, right? And as a collective, we have to have these whole conversations. Over the weekend, there was a situation in my hometown where they have like a community board where people talk about things and give reviews and on certain things going on in the area. And they got a black business, of course. Um, and so they had a black woman who goes there. This woman have children. And I say she have children because all of her money count. I mean, she chose to take $50-something of her money to go purchase her a seafood plate, and it was a mess. It was a mess. It was out of order. And see, black people play so many games, they think everybody else playing games. So when the young lady went back up there, they told her it was a whole bunch of rigmarole. They did replace it with something that she didn't pay for, and that was old. It just was a mess. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, you know what, man, we apologize. We'll give you the option of refunding you your money or redoing your order. But instead, they went back and forth with her. She tried to contact them privately. They went back and forth, and it's just like, and this happened. This happened before in like I say, in my hometown. I'm not saying it don't happen in other places, because I'm sure it do. Because my hometown is small, but it happened another time where a guy um and his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, they have a black owned business, and a woman went there, bought a pork chop. It was burnt. Um, she went back up there to say, hey, this burnt. Can I get another one or whatever? They argue with her and said she was playing games, said she had bit off and all this kind of stuff. And listen, man, when you run a business, and both of these businesses when these people came out with this, now a whole bunch of other stuff came with it. A whole bunch of other people. That's how it always happens. Just like when these women come forward with being sexually abused, is other women that won't say nothing, but they wait for this one woman to say something. Everybody just now have that courage to come forth first. And so now, because didn't want to spare a pork chop, one of them, and because you didn't want to refund this woman her money or give her a better plate, you were so quick to get that little $50-something. Both of y'all hurt y'all business. I'm not saying y'all went out of business, because from my understanding, both of y'all still in business. Well, the other one still in business, the other one happened yesterday. But just think how negative this affected you. Now you had over 100 people come on, hundreds of people come forth and say, I had the same experience. Their food trash. And these people probably would have never said it. They might have said it to their friend group or whatever like that. But now it's in the open. It's in the street. Your business in the street now. Then you got people commenting saying, I'm glad I came across this. I was going to take my family there, but now I'm not. And it's just a bunch of negative things. Now just think about this in both situations, right? This is what the white folks would have did. This is what even the Asians in the air, this is what they would have did. Look, we sorry about the pork chop being burnt. Would you like a refund, or would you want another pork chop? If that's just say the woman playing game and she just want another pork chop, that one pork chop that you give her, which is extremely cheap, is gonna give you a great buzz in your business, because now she's gonna spread word of mouth to her friend group. She's gonna go on that same website and say, you know what? I went to this because this community board is positive and negative. So now she's gonna come on this community board and say, hey, I had a situation with this said place, and not only did they correct it, they gave me my money back, but not only did they give me my money back, their customer service was great. They were very friendly and kind, because these other people understand business. They understand capitalism. We got the bad disease of thinking about and getting a quick dollar now. These other people understand that we trying to do this for life, build this as big as it can get, and pass it down to our children. We don't understand that. Black people just don't understand that part of the game yet, right? And so, just like the other situation yesterday, this woman, I'm sure she was in there with a kid, because she got a whole bunch of them. And hey, look, man, you're a single mother, or you're a mother with a man. I don't know her personal business. I just know she got a kid from her Facebook profile. And look, I'm gonna refund your money. We don't have the thing, because some of the things she asked for they didn't have. They just replaced it on their own hand instead of saying, look, man, give me that option. I'm spending my hard-earned money. Money ain't easy to come by these days. Give me an option on how I'm gonna spend my money. They didn't. They just, and I'm gonna be blunt with it. They replaced oxtail with some chicken wings, and then come to find out the girls say the chicken wing was old and cold. It's just a mess. Call me to the counter and say, look, we don't have this. Don't try to slick nothing on me. Then they didn't even do that until she went up there and said something. Let me be clear on that. She wanted some oxtails. Not only did they didn't put the oxtails in there, or they put half of what she ordered because they apparently ran out. They didn't put the till she went up there that she said, I'm missing this, and she was like, oh yeah, we didn't have them more. So yeah, the chicken wing for replacement. It's just bad business. Then they go back and forth whether she exposed the tech that she did private. She tried to take it privately, get it rectified that way. It didn't work. The individual just was very rude. And I'm just looking at it, and I said to myself, I say, this is why black businesses don't make it. It's not, it don't have nothing to do with no white man. It don't have nothing to do with that. It has the issue why black businesses don't survive long, most, not all, is because bad customer service and horrible service. This is why. It don't always be the product. It don't always be the product. Because we know most black people can cook, but it don't even, well, apparently not in this situation, but in most situations they can cook. But the customer service just make you like, man, I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't the only black-owned restaurant that cook black food. There's somebody else in every city. They got some type of soul food restaurant. That's a big thing anywhere you go, especially in the major cities. So I'm not gonna deal with you, and I gotta deal with all that come behind it. You know what I'm saying? If you go look at the guy, Mr. Chime Time, he do food reviews. Same thing with him. He'll go into these places sometime when there's black people, and they just rude. And I understand people have a lot going on, but leave at home or don't work. Because that's why a lot of people about to be replaced. When you talk about Walmart and McDonald's, these big corporations like that, in the next 5 to 10 years, it's not going to be no more cashiers getting attitude with people, fast food workers in the line getting attitude with customers. It's going to be a 1 or 2 people in the business. They're going to be engineers and know how to work robots. It's going to be robots doing all of this, cashiers and everything. Because one thing you know about a robot, he's not going to have an attitude. He's going to have the same mood every day. All in that, you know what that mood is? Hi, hello. And he's going to ring your items up, and that's going to be that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that, man. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. In this Black History Month, man, we been started off wrong already. We had a shooting. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. But let's get into the real meat of this live. I want to discuss the black coaching thing. But yeah, I think I'm gonna play. Yeah, I'm gonna play. Matter of fact, let's play Cam Newton first. After we play Cam Newton, we'll go to Jason Whitlock. Yeah, that's how we'll do that. The devil, you a liar. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I'm not getting sick.
Yeah, when you start to look at the teams, Mike Vrabel played in the league. Damn good coach.
Let me, speak from the heart here for a minute. I think it's always hard when you retire as a player, and
Yeah,
Play both of these.
Yeah, when you start to look at the teams, Mike Vrabel played in the league. Damn good coach. You know a thing or two about ball. D'Amico Ryans also played in the league. Damn good coach. So it's not to say that we ain't capable or competent, because some would say, and this is where I'm like, hey, now, why are you expecting something from me that you don't expect from somebody else? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that he didn't or does not have any executive kind of internship or phase to belong in as head of operations or as a president for the Atlanta Falcons in that run. But all I'm saying is, did we really vet
Everybody that recruited. And that's not just for them. That's for every organization they can hire.
I think Matt Ryan's hire now gives more opportunity to former players.
Correct.
I'm good with that.
That helps, yeah.
It helps immensely. But all I'm saying is, when you got quality guys that have also played the game, are they getting the same opportunity? Just the consideration ain't enough at this point.
Yeah, nah.
Like we want a real chance. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not calling and saying y'all got to do better. I'm not in the position to check any person that has hired the individuals that I stated, because John Lynch is doing a damn good job.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. With hiring not only the head coach but all the personnel pieces.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Man, they're doing a great job.
You said Dan Morgan's done.
Dan Morgan has done a great job.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I had the opportunity to see him on my second go around with Carolina. Yeah. Like, yes, individuals are really working towards being president, general manager. But the buck stops at certain places. Yeah. Where now you start putting the microscope and saying, why aren't African Americans or minority coaches having the opportunity to coach thinking positions? You didn't say that again, did you? I definitely did. What's the thinking position? A middle linebacker position, quarterback position, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
And shout out to Atlanta just had that. I mean, a minority, yeah.
But they just fired. Las Vegas just fired their coach. Miami Dolphins just fired their coach. Huh? You know what I mean? Mike Tomlin. Hey, bro, we don't want to go there. Kevin Stefanski just got fired, didn't he? Yeah. So don't sit up here and say this is a black or white thing when I'm sitting up here saying this is an equal opportunity thing. They ain't the only coaches that can coach.
Correct.
They
tell
the
best man win, regardless of whatever position
I'm just being an advocate of a person that I'm seeing, or I'm saying what I'm seeing.
Now, as a player, if you look up to the front office and see a diverse group, what does that add to? Like, how much value is
it's that? Not even diversity more so than talking to a person that can cope with your issues. Certain things that the team does. Going to talk to a Dan Morgan will be easier than talking to a person that's just been around.
Because Dan Morgan knows what it is.
Bro. He knows like certain breaks in the game, you're just not going to get. Man, you want to have that break. As a former player, you are privy to certain things and makes you an expert that people will never understand. Mm-hmm. You can easily be around the team during the season or during the off season, but you don't know what it's like to prepare as a player. Yeah. What you got to take your mind, body, and soul through, the sacrifices away from your family. Everybody sacrifices something. But I'm just the advocate for more former players being in these executive positions, primarily more former minorities. Dang, oh my gosh.
I know we got to finish that, but let's wrap the show and then we can just go to practice.
Cool. That's all I got to say, Peggy.
Well, there you go, bud. Well, we want to see change, keep happening. It's already happening. We want to see it keep happening in the NFL. Woo! That was the show.
Is that it, Peggy?
That's it, bud.
Is that it, Peggy?
That's it, bud.
One time, Peggy. Is that it, Peggy?
Yes,
we're going to add a finger thing. Gonna add a thing.
Okay.
Why you add a pinky thing? Gonna add a pinky. Why you add a pinky thumb? Hey, the thumb. Hey, the thumb. The thumb. One more time. Gonna add a finger thing. Gonna add a finger. Why you add a pinky thing? Gonna add a pinky. All right. All together. One love. You see?
And that's all right.
So let's go to the last one by Cam Newton. Then we're going to go to Jason Whitlock.
You start to look at the team like in the league.
Let me, speak from the heart here for a minute. I think it's always hard when you retire as a player and it's over. There's a finality to it and you have to move on. And there's this empty void in your life, of filling that space of teammates, the locker room. And that's difficult. I think that's difficult to deal with. And, when I left, I was so lucky to be given the opportunity by David Burson and by CBS to become a part of this team. And my first year was, with the crew on the road and we were calling games. And when you're out on the road calling games, you become a team and a group and sort of a traveling circus. And I'm thankful to that crew. And then the last 2 years, you guys have become my team, and it's helped me a lot because it's not easy. And I think former players, you know, we can all, the coaches and people in that space, we can all relate to that. But you guys have made it better for me and realize that, you know, there's life after, and you keep going. And now, again, to be able to get back into that environment in the organization, you know, that I spent so much time with, it was one of one, and I'm excited about that. But I love you guys.
Love you
I
too,
appreciate it. I love everybody who's back here, everybody who's a part of it behind that no one can see. This is the best group that you could be a part of. I think we do it better than anybody else on air.
That's a
and
fact.
I am so appreciative of my friends.
About your three boys so much was
Stop it right there. Because I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
I really am. Yep. But I won't be me if I don't keep it in the book.
keep it G.
I'm all for former players stepping into executive leadership with different franchises and organizations. Make no mistake about that.
Mm-hmm.
But let me be abundantly clear. There is a vast difference in who's getting these jobs. Give you an example. Well, you mentioned CBS executive that we remain nameless.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of respect and admiration of CBS, no different than ESPN. And for what they've given me, ESPN, that is a platform that showcases the difference in opinion. And they've given me a voice. And I'm forever grateful for that.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about what my point is as far as giving or being an advocate to minority former players having a seat at the table as well too in the executive leadership position.
Yeah.
That's football operations, that's general manager, that's anything.
President, whatever.
It don't listen, dog. Hey, we experts too. And this is no shot at Matt Ryan. This is no shot at John Lynch. This is no shot at Dan Morgan. The list goes on. This is no shot at Mark Murphy, former president and CEO of the Green Bay Packers. Tony Basile, executive president of football operations for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rand Cawthorn, general manager for the Tennessee Titans. I'm not going to sit up here and denounce what Dan Morgan has brought to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
But they all are Caucasians. When are we, as minority individuals, going to have a seat or an opportunity?
Yeah. Because you're the majority of the NFL. Playing.
Let me, you know, speak from the heart here for a minute. I think it's always hard when you retire as a player and it's over. There's a finale.
Okay, so now we about to go to some stuff about Jason Whitlock and how he covered this, which I think he covered it extremely well. Of course, I'm gonna add my commentary because see, the issue with this is this, and this is why I speak. Again, one of my things I speak about when you're dealing with the whole woe to me because I'm black and the mindset of I'm being treated unfairly because I'm black. And this is why over the last week live stream, my topic was why Martin Luther King legacy needs to be abolished. Because he created something called CRTD that is still plaguing most black people. That's the civil rights transmitted disease. Where something doesn't go my way as a black person, it's because of race. When at this point in time, listen, if we want to, we could take all of the best black players. Now, I'm not telling them to do this. The NFL is a great league that I love and support, but I'm just showing you something for the crybaby, for the ones who always whine. How about all y'all black players that's the greatest in the league, the greatest in the NBA, y'all come together, put all y'all money in one pot, and start y'all own league. It wouldn't take long with y'all influence, with the people who feel sorry for the poor. Like, it wouldn't take long for y'all to get up in front of y'all. Have the talent, and if y'all wanted to, y'all can go against the NFL. But of course, y'all would get sponsors. Y'all would have your own money. And again, if it's the biggest names and people like LeBron James, who's soon about to retire, or who else? Who is a big time star in the NFL that's soon about to retire that's black that they got all this money? Or you could talk about the Oprahs, the Mayweathers, the Jay-Z's. All of these people could come together, get this money, put their money together, have a fund of about 30, 40 billion after all of them come together. And guess what? Start their own league. It might struggle for a couple of years. They're gonna have to draft players. They're gonna have to get a draft. They're gonna have to go through. They're gonna have to build a whole league up. But this is what you need to do. You know, back then they had something called the Negro League in baseball. Start y'all a Negro League, and then y'all can hire all the black coaches that y'all want to hire. If that's what y'all want to do, y'all can hire white coaches. But as of right now, today, the owners in the NFL are white, right? Besides one owner, which is an Arab man, which is just crazy to me that an Arab owned the team before black people. But again, I always tell y'all, black people are the only people who their mindset is not ownership, rulership. Their mindset is equality. Their mindset is social justice, which ties into equality. Social justice, woe to me because I'm black. I can't do it because somebody gonna stop me or make it hard for me. Or stunting. That's all black people mindset on. I want to go get a degree so I can stunt. Or I want to go get a degree so I can feel empowered and stick my chest out to other black people that don't have a degree because you already know you can't compete with these other races, even the ones coming over here. I want to go get the new Mercedes. I want to go get the new Gucci. I want to go travel. Everything I do is to stunt on other black people. I post it on my social media. At family gatherings, I'm posting, I'm doing all these things. They mind is so warped with those things that they can't think of ownership and rulership. And these other people, they don't have the victim mindset. None of them, even the people that come here, they don't have the victim mindset. They have the we need to get in this educational league and get deep and help our people, or we need to get in capitalism, or we're gonna do both. The white gonna do this, the other gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, the children gonna do this. So that way when the children grow up, they're gonna have an opportunity to get in corporate America, medicine, go be educated, or they're gonna have to work for the business, the family business. This is their mindset. And so their mindset is always on building community, not generational wealth. I want you to hear me good. And I got a video on my channel. I'm gonna break down, I don't know when, called the basic formula of community generational wealth. And what that's about is teaching black people how to create community generational wealth, which is not just for people with your last name, but people who look like you. And this is what all of these other people are doing. They copycat the white man. And I tell people all the time, ain't nothing wrong with copying the cat. If the cat good, the copy. If the cat cool, the copy. And the white man has laid the foundation, and everybody follow his way. These people don't come here from third world country talking about we come here to make that world country, and we no, they come here and they get to it. They know they free here. They know they can practice their religion and do whatever they want here. Which I don't like to practice religion. This is a Christian Judeo country, but I digress. And they come here and they get to it. They don't cry, they don't whine. And why black people are still, again, this is why this is a problem. And we always stuck whining while other people work. And the ones of us that do got money, we too busy trying to rush and go buy things, take trips all over the goddamn world, which is nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying We too focused on doing those things. And so then when we sit down after 30 years or 20 years and we say to ourselves, damn, I'm 40 years old. I done been all over the world. I done had multiple foreign cars. I got my closet look like a boutique. I got brand new teeth, BBL, you name it. But I don't own nothing but my house, my car, and the things in my house. And I might have a portfolio. See, these other people, they get 40 years old or 50. Now they about to all that over the years when you was stunting and partying, and they was investing. They was investing. So now he 45 or he 40, and he gonna buy him a little baby yacht. He gonna start him a business the way he can retire early. See, black people think about today. These other groups of people think about tomorrow, and that's why we get beat so bad. So instead of getting on here crying and whining about the white man and what he got going on and what he created and how he handled his creation, go build something. Because see, when you build something see, when you build something of significance that everybody use, everybody like, it creates community generational wealth. See, the NFL, okay, let's use a few things that we use every day, right? Because see, when you create something, other people can't create it, but they got to use your patent. So, like, for example, we got multiple different airlines, but we know that the Wright family is forever going to be paid because why? They created the patent to make airplanes. Cars, white people. Cell phones, smartphones, white people. Internet, white people. Cars, white. Everything was created by white people that we need every day. Of course, Negroes make some food that tastes good, or Negroes make some clothes and all that. But these things are not things that everybody need, everybody use. Like I tell people all the time, and going back to one of the things that I spoke about earlier about the black owned business. Like having black owned business on your business, especially if you got a brick and mortar business, or if it's a social media business, is the stupidest, most worst PR move you could ever do. Because of course you're gonna get these wokety woke black Negroes who gonna support you, but there's a lot of people, and even white liberals gonna support you. But there's a lot of people that you just then automatically ousted out. Why don't you put American made business? You born and raised an American, you're a proud American. All that African American nonsense, you are an American. Put that on your business and see how it trump having black owned business on your business, whether it's brick and mortar or via social media. Right? And so yeah, and so when you speak on these black coaches, um, and these teams hiring these black coaches, they do what they want to do. And I'm gonna play a first video. I'm gonna play it from Fox Sports with Rob Parker and this dude I believe named Kelvin, and they speaking on it because they was upset that and they felt like it was disrespectful. See, this is what y'all don't understand. When you create something, you make the rules, and those who make the rules can break the rules. So they all in on because Buffalo actually gave Phillip Rivers an interview. Oh, that's not taking it serious. This man never coached for high school sports. But again, you can do that when you own the team. And now y'all, two Negroes who never owned nothing in y'all life, but y'all don't even own the radio show y'all talking about. Y'all don't even have, like Rob Parker been in radio for 40 some years. He should have his own radio station. And he don't. But he on here always talking about somebody else and Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft, people who created something. This man, Jerry Jones, was an innovator. Jerry Jones is one of the forefathers of the NFL. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if he came around in the 80s and the NFL had already been around 20 years. Jerry Jones is one of the forefathers, the big dogs, the mafioso bosses of the NFL of when it comes to merchandise and just sales and just the overall NFL brand, making it global like it is. That's Jerry Jones' DNA, not Roger Goodell. That's why Cowboys are the most expensive team. And I'm looking, and so what I'm gonna do is we might have to do a part 2 on this because I didn't realize I had this many um videos. So this is what. There's 6 videos. Yeah, I might do a part 2. I gotta see how much I've been going, but I'm gonna play this Rob Parker one first. And I might just get to the Jason Whitlock Wednesday because you know I hold live streams again. If you don't know, this your first time catching me. I hold live stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I was a little late today, but and Tuesdays and Thursdays I hold. Well, I don't host. I do my Black People This Is Why series, which is a masterclass on how to conduct yourselves when having any type of interference with law enforcement, whether it be traffic stop, in a store, whatever. How to conduct yourself. And I named it Black People This Is Why. Of course, I'll get off into that tomorrow. I believe we on episode 17. I could be wrong about that. 15, 16, or 17. We somewhere around there. And that's what we're gonna be doing tomorrow. And yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing tomorrow and Thursday. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we do live stream. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do part 2 of this Wednesday. I'm trying to look at the time. Oh, let's see here. Okay, we've been on 47 seconds. 47 minutes. And like I said, I covered a few things that I wanted to cover on today. And so let's get into this Rob Parker thing. Like I said, I watch Rob Parker because for me, he's a very he's what you call a buffoon. He's very funny. And I say funny not because he try to be. He think he telling the truth. He think he being serious, but he just a buffoon. The guy on the show with him is just kind of like, I guess, new to the business. And Rob Parker been around for a while, so he don't want to rub Rob Parker the wrong way. So he pretty much most of the time don't do no pushback against Rob Parker, and he's not that bright himself. But these guys just some knuckleheads, man, and it's crazy because they old knuckleheads. And man, as a matter of fact, Rob Parker is even a professor at USC. He teaches journalism. And I mean, again, as I say, most people, especially people like him, older guys, they're doorknob people with formal education, I'm gonna say. Most people with formal education are doorknob. What do I mean by that? Well, a doorknob is pretty much useless. Pretty much useless. But it does have a purpose. That purpose is to open and close the door, lock and unlock the door. So it does have a purpose, but outside of its purpose, it's useless. It has no other uses. Now, what about when I hang my? Some people, some people hang their Walmart bag and make it like a makeshift trash can. So, if you want to say that, but outside of that, it's useless. And so he been a journalist for I think 40, almost 50 years, and so he knows about journalism. That's his doorknob. But outside of that, he's an idiot when it comes to politics, social justice issues. Of course, he's woke to me because I'm Black. He's one of those victim guys. He also has a PhD in victimology. He has a gold medal in the Victim Olympics. One of those guys. And yeah. So, but he's going to come from the aspect of and he did this before because Indianapolis hired Jeff Saturday to be their head coach. Now, Jeff Saturday played for the Indiana coach for a number of years. He's an all-time great for the Indianapolis Colts, a lineman, offensive lineman. And hey, Jim Irsay was an old guy before he passed away. Excuse me. He was good friends with Phillip Rivers, and he said, not Phillip Rivers. What's his name? Jeff Saturday. He said, hey, you don't got no coaching experience besides being a lineman. But guess what? You my friend. This my team. I don't care what nobody say. You're hired. Oh, he looked over this person. Oh, he looked over that person. He do what he wants because again, that's what ownership about, and that's what rulership about. Something that most of you Negroes, especially victims like Rob Parker, don't understand. They want equality, right? And they want to look good. That's all they care about. And so, yeah, and of course it didn't work. Fired and moved on. But again, he can do this. This is his team. This is Jim Irsay's team, who's now passed away. God rest his soul. His daughters is running it. They do what they want. Some people say, "Oh, his daughters don't really know the sport," and they went got Phillip Rivers from being on his couch after 5 years. But hey, they damn near made the playoffs. But again, they do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't they go get Cam Newton or why didn't they go get somebody else? They go get old because again, hey, they do what they want. They went go got a quiet, good pocket guy, a quarterback from the neck up, and he won a couple games for him. Damn near got him in the playoffs. So I'm gonna play Rob Parker, and I think I'm gonna do a part two after this Rob Parker video. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna let them break it down. I'll give my little commentary at the end, and we'll close this out for the day. I'll be back. And then I might, cause last time I did it, I said I might. I don't know, cause if I do, I don't know. I don't know. Let me see.
Make it a place you'll never forget. BetMGM Sportsbook. Make it legendary.
Wow. Ocean Key is just breathtaking.
Reminds me of being on holiday. You know, when you.
All right, let's get right to it.
Rob Parker, the same dude who said Bill O'Reilly. I mean, not Bill O'Reilly. Rob Parker, the same dude who said Bill Belichick and Tom Brady shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Just to give y'all a gist of how dumb this guy is. But I'm going to let y'all hear him for yourself, of course. That's what we do here. Without further ado, let's get into it.
All right, let's get right to it, Rob G. Just the news that shook me and Kelvin today.
I honestly thought it was a joke.
Right, and it did, and this is why we're going to start with this. Again, we're going to get to the AFC and NFC championship game. So we're going to get to all that, what the storylines, but this is something that hit us today.
Guys, it can be argued that the Buffalo Bills head coaching vacancy is far and away the most appealing vacancy in this cycle. Whether it's been filled or not filled, get a chance to work with Josh Allen on a perennial contender. It's a fantastic job. So naturally, they got their pick of the litter when it comes to coaches. Well, earlier on Friday, the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, apparently, we'll get to that part later, interviewed the head coach from St. Michael Catholic High School in Fairhope, Alabama. That's right, former NFL quarterback Phillip Rivers was interviewed today for the head coaching gig with the Buffalo Bills. We don't know how it went, but we know he had the interview and he is being seriously considered, so much so that Vegas currently has him with the second best odds to get the gig.
And Kelvin, I'm just going to say, I've been covering the National Football League since 1987. This league, more than any other league, just bothers me because we see the same thing over and over. The goalposts are moved for people to get opportunities. At one time, Black assistant coaches couldn't even get interviewed.
Yeah.
That's why they implemented the Rudy rule that forced owners to even interview. Forget about hiring. Here we are in a job cycle. 10 head coaching jobs open.
And I don't agree with the Rooney rule. Just like I was against them getting rid of Donald Sterling for the Clippers. I mean, listen, check this out. I don't care how my boss feel about me, even though he didn't feel no type of way toward Black people. He was upset with Magic Johnson. That was a him versus Magic Johnson thing. And they try to make it like he didn't like Black people and all this and all that, and they conspired to take their man's team. That was wrong. Now, if he would have been having an issue with paying his player, then we got a problem. Man, you can hate my guts. Listen, I don't listen. You don't want to be but this man clearly didn't have nothing against Black people. But if he did, let's just say he did. I don't care how you feel about me. As long as you pay me my contract that we agreed upon, we don't never gotta speak. I'm gonna be polite, I'm gonna be respectful, but that's it. They conspired, and it's a weak idiot Adam Silver got this man out of the league. I don't like Adam Silver. He's a white liberal. If you know me, you know how I feel about white liberals. They're the scum of the earth. Malcolm X warned us about them 60 years ago. And so that's just how I feel about that. So when you say, oh, this league, hey man, nobody don't listen. Create. Why don't you say, oh, I've been covering the league since 20? How many times you brought that to the table, Rob, and said, hey man, NFL player, get together, start your league. How many times did you do that? Zero. All you're about is whining and crying because you are infected with the CRTD, the civil rights transmitted disease that was started by Malcolm Luther King. Michael Luther
I'm wrong.
King.
I'll admit it. I don't believe a black coach is going to get hired. We've talked to a couple NFL.
Oh yeah, and the Rooney Rule. Like the Rooney, you mean to tell me they actually have a rule, and it's a joke. Let's just be honest about it. It's a joke. Yeah, guess what? The Rooney Rule, only thing nobody don't like to be told what to do with something that they built, bro. Nobody. Nobody want to be told what to do with something that they built. So you telling me I built this and I gotta hire this person because they black? No. You implicated a rule called the Rooney Rule that says that I have to sorry about that, guy. Sorry about that. You come up with this rule called the Rooney Rule that's forcing me something that I built, forcing me to take something I built and forcing me to give somebody else an opportunity. Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to be told what to do with something that they built, something their family built and passed down to them. This is theirs. You don't tell me what to do. But again, the wokeness came up with the Rooney Rule, which is the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers that says that you at least have to interview a black head coach. So all they gonna do is this. They'll interview you. But for the most part, I believe these people be knowing who they gonna hire you next. Right? Everybody I've seen got interviewed and up getting hired for some position, whether it was a position coach or head coach. These people know, especially when it's people who've been around the league, like John Harbaugh or Brian Dable or some of these coaches that have been around. Listen, man, everybody know what they're about. You either want that in your culture or not. Right? So all you told the people is the Rooney Rule is saying, look, you have to interview him. You don't have to hire him, but you have to interview him. And that's just cosplaying nonsense. Oh, I got to do something with my team. But again, some teams do it, and hey, but let's get in. Let's let Mr. Not too smart, low IQ Rob Parker give his take on the situation. Hold on, give me one second. I don't know what happened because before I did it was going good. But let's get into it.
Reporters.
They don't have any candidate.
They couldn't even give you any names, okay? And we already know. With the Vikings,
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores. I just don't see him getting hired as a head coach with a pending lawsuit against the NFL. If they hire him, I'll say I was wrong. I just don't see that. But
and I want to say something on that. I'm glad he said that. That's another thing I tell dudes, and I've been telling y'all, and I speak on this channel. Listen, man, it's about to get bad for black people, man, in the workforce. Because, and if you need to go either get you a trade or go get you a degree. So if you got a trade or a degree, they gotta hire you, right? Your credentials says that they have to hire you. But with the ending of DEI and affirmative action and all that, ain't gonna be no more favoritism. And then y'all add insult to injury the way y'all act. And then when something don't go y'all way, what y'all want to do? Y'all sue. So y'all got bad customer service. Y'all always tearing something up at the job, being a disruption. And then if things don't go right how you want them, you sue. And as I said in a live stream the other day, sometimes, most of the time, all the time, when you lose a job by getting fired, you either point it out or they got a paper trail. So that lawsuit's going to be frivolous. But the thing is, especially if it's like a small mom and pop store, you can ruin this company by even having those type of things attached to their name. Racism. They going to lose customers, the stupid white liberal and blacks. And it could not even be true. The judge not racist if he give you 30 years after you've been in front of him 20 times. The cop not racist because he gets a little rough with you because you've been cussing him out and wrestling and resisting the whole time. Your boss not racist because he fired you because you've been late for 2 months, coming in work smelling like weed, causing chaos when you get there. Not, I don't never do essay, I don't never do work making videos like that. Right? It's not racism, it's your actions. But let's continue.
Idea that we already saw the Colts hire Jeff Saturday, who came right out of the TV studio with zero coaching experience.
Yeah.
And now the idea that they love Phillip Rivers so much that they allowed him to play, making a mockery of the NFL at 45 years old after not playing for 5 years. Now they want to hire him and make it because he coaches his high school, his kids in high school, that they're going to make him an NFL head coach. And this isn't about hiring people because they're black. This is about opportunity. When you go to a pool of people, how can a league be roughly 67% black? Guys who played the game, they're coaches around the league, right? And they're not in the mix. So something's really wrong when they can't be in the mix. And if they've hired a black coach with no experience right off the studio, like you look at some of the guys at ESPN who are dying for opportunities, they're still sitting around waiting. Yeah. And those guys never.
Why isn't Louis Riddick got the job?
He's been looking for a general manager job, but you know what? In Atlanta, what do they do? Matt Ryan, no experience. Hey, Matt, go ahead, buddy. You know what?
Phillip Rivers can possibly be a head coach of one of the better teams in the league.
And this is my point.
Not ground zero, work your way up some new franchise or something like that.
It's disgraceful. It's just disgraceful.
Russell. It's the open road calling your name. Some guys were born truck drivers. At coastal truck driving school.
Guys or something like that.
It's disgraceful. It's just disgraceful.
Yeah. I look, man, I talked to Rob G on the.
And see, that's another thing I want to speak on. This is why you have in the league positions coaches, and you have head coaches. What people have to understand is they don't want just anybody, and this is something I'm going to touch on later on, but in part 2, but they don't want just anybody. Not so much that they don't want, they know anybody can't handle it. You seen what happened in Pittsburgh, in New England. Robert Kraft tried to give a former Patriot a job, Gerard Mayo, and it was complete tire fire. Got him out of there in 1 year. Some of these dudes don't know how to be, just because they know the game, just because they've been around for a long time. These men don't know how to be a leader of men. When you're a head coach, you are a leader of men, not just any men, rich, wealthy men. You got to be able to know how to deal with all of these egos. Then you got a whole staff you got to be over. You are the head Negro, and you are the head person in charge. You're the captain of a ship of hundreds of people. You have to be able to be a leader of men. You can't be overly emotional. And a lot of these white guys come from 2-parent productive homes. A lot of these black players, they was in the NFL because they were blessed genetically, but they wasn't good. They not good coaches. They wouldn't be good coaches. Some may not. Like, I think Dion a good coach. I just gonna be honest. I think Dion is a good coach. I'm not saying he's elite. I'm not saying he's all-time great, but I do think Dion, he's not no Kirk Cinetti. but I do think Dion is a manageable coach. But again, some of the things Dion does is just not coach-esque. Not, or I would say, just traditional coaching. He's not a traditional coach. He's outside the box. He's a motivator more. I think he would be better to be an offensive coordinator, but I don't want to speak on his life. He got a good coaching job in Colorado. Hopefully it works out for him in the next couple of years, because they probably gonna be looking elsewhere, because we understand that this is a win. What have you done for me lately? He never really won anything anyway over there. But recruiting is a thing, and that is what it is. But when you talk about being a head coach, I don't care how long you've been on TV calling games. I don't care how long you played in the league. Are you a leader of men? Do you understand what it's like to be a leader of men? Did you come up in a household with a father? I'm not saying that just because you didn't, you don't know how to be a father. Because God can teach you anything, but just going off experience, how can you be a leader of men and you never seen a men lead? Only thing you know is I'm gonna go off what my other coaches did. These people look at all of that. You know what I'm saying? D'Amico Ryan in Houston doing a great job. We know Mike Tomlin is a legend. We've seen great situations, but I'm saying for the most part, black coaches just don't work. And you got Eric B. Enemy. They've been saying he should be a coach for years, but they say he don't know how to talk to people. And again, when you're dealing with these players and you want them to give you everything on the court, you got to have balance. You can't just be every day hollering at these grown men making hundreds of millions of dollars. It's just not going to work. They're not going to want to play for you. They're not going to be passionate about what they're doing for you, especially the black dudes who raised by their mom. It's just not happening. And so, so we got to always keep that in context, not just, hey, this is their team that they work hard for. And boy, hey, these people want to hire men, leaders of men, not just some guy because he's black, not some guy because he was in the league for this amount of time. He was this successful. We need a leader of men like Mike Tomlin, like Bill Belichick, like Nick Saban. But let's continue. And even some of those college coaches, they can't transcend. You know why? Because they can't deal with those egos. It's different in college and the pro. These dudes, they made it now. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Wayne, and I said, there's somebody listening right now, Rob, that's going, oh, here we go. Why does this have to be a thing? Not understanding that these are conversations that me and you don't want to have. In a perfect world, meaning we wouldn't have to have these conversations. We wouldn't have to highlight these types of things. Where you brought up the Rooney Rule, and the Rooney Rule was to even just say, get them in the room. Just can you interview somebody?
You can't hire somebody if you don't interview them.
Can you at least just have a cup of coffee with them and say, hey, what would your philosophies be as a coach? And then make your decision.
Wait a minute. By the way, what would be your philosophies of being a coach? Humor me.
Right. Because we already got our guy. Right. We're just checking you off the list. So I go back to this. Somebody saying, well, I don't get what's the big deal. This is why it matters, bro. You know what they were saying 25 years ago, 30 years ago? Black quarterbacks in college couldn't be a quarterback in the league. Right. They weren't smart enough. There's literal documentation that NFL leaders and owners and everyone thought they weren't smart enough. They didn't possess the mental capacity to be a quarterback.
Mind-boggling.
Right? Now, I didn't say 1928. We're talking 88. Doug Williams went to Super Bowl and can't really get another opportunity. Destroyed records in the Super Bowl. Destroyed records. Tony Dungy was a quarterback. Right. You ain't know that.
He never played quarterback in the NFL.
You didn't know that.
Because they moved him to a DB, didn't they?
You didn't even know that. There's so many. Warren Moon had to go play in the USFL. CFL.
He won championships in the CFL.
He had to go to the 100%. So my point is, it's first you can't really be in the league. Then it's okay, you can be in the league, but you definitely aren't playing the prized possession of quarterback. All right, now we're seeing quarterbacks, mind you, taking over the league. But all right, you can be quarterbacks, but you can't be coaches. All right, well, you can have some assistant coach, you can't be a head coach. You for daggone sure really aren't GM or general managers, the handful. And you for sure aren't being an owner. And so the reason why these conversations are needed is because the loud messages it screams to the youth. You can go play, you can go tackle, you can do all that. That's where it stops.
And I want to say this. I got a tweet from a young brother online. And his message to me was, well, just go buy your own team and then you can hire whoever you want, which is just a cop-out. Okay? Because I said, well, wait a minute. Can we look at the NBA? There are
see, I didn't even know that. See, a cop-out. That's not a cop-out. That's the truth. But again, when you're dealing with a liberal black, which is a woman trapped in a man body, because men don't complain and whine, only women do that. When you're dealing with a liberal black, facts is racist. Facts is a cop out. That's the truth. Go buy your own team.
0 black owners. 0. Is Kyron
Like somebody telling you how to raise your children. That's your children. Go have your own.
black coaches a question mark or a thing?
You can make recommendations, but don't tell me how to do nothing that I created. That's for me. Don't tell me how to do it. If you got a good recommendation, I might use it, but don't tell me what I have to do with something that I built, created, and spent money on, and years and blood, sweat, and tears. Get out of here.
In that league? Absolutely not. And if you want to talk about making change, the NBA made change. You know how? Because Donald Sterling said, don't bring those black people and all the derogatory words to the game. The players got together, went to Adam Silver and said, hey,
We ain't about to play tonight.
we are not playing the playoffs if this guy's going to be an owner in the NBA. How long after that was he still an owner in the NBA? So don't give me that you can't make change. You can make change. It's about opportunity. If right now in the National Hockey League, which is, I'm going to say is 99% black, white, 99% white. If 98% of the coaches in the national were black,
I know you. Yeah.
wouldn't people go, what is this?
Yeah.
This is bizarro world. This makes absolutely no sense.
Or all women.
All women. Come on, dude. Don't be dumb. Don't act like this doesn't matter and, it's just about hiring the best person. It can't be, because Jeff Saturday wasn't the best person, wasn't qualified. God forbid you hired a black guy off the street or out of the studio like Jeff Saturday.
Lomas Brown. Let's take another offensive lineman. Hey, Lomas, just come straight in and coach.
Radio booth.
Yeah,
Come on.
go coach the Lions.
What I did in doing our due diligence today, I did go and
the league said
get a comment from the league.
What they say?
There's not going to be anything left for the white people. I mean, all the players are black. I mean, the only thing that the whites control is the coaching jobs. Now, I'm not being derogatory about it, but that's all that's left for them. So black talent is beautiful. It's great. It's out there.
Yeah.
But, the only thing left for the whites is a couple coaching jobs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That
wasn't the clip.
That wasn't the clip.
That was Jimmy the Greek Snyder.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay, but it sounds like that would be the clip of the league right now.
But it just looks like 30, 40 years later, that wasn't a crazy statement. That could be apropos in 2026.
Think about what he said. That would be the only thing the white guys control on the jobs. Yeah. Jimmy the Greek Snyder back in, what is that?
80-something.
Yeah. Said that. Here we are, 2026. 10 job openings. Head coach. We haven't had this many openings in a long time in the National Football League.
A third of the league.
Unbelievable. We want to hear from you.
All right, Rob.
And yeah, we gonna shut it down right there, man. We gonna like I say, man, for those of y'all who into that Black History Month nonsense, reliving the past and all of the trauma that black people went through, happy Black History Month. I do, like Kanye say, happy Black Future Month. We talk about the future. But anyway, great day to be an American, man. But like I say, we're gonna finish this off Wednesday live. We're gonna continue the black coaching thing. And gonna be more whining and stuff like that from these guys. Y'all, I played Cam Newton. I might replay Cam Newton because I kind of want Cam Newton to go, but y'all gonna probably remember. But I may play Cam Newton again just to get y'all the gist of what I'm saying, because after that I'm gonna come with the Jason Whitlock. I kind of got started a little late today, and I gotta take care of a few things. But man, thank y'all for coming out, man. And watching the show, man. Y'all have a blessed night. Happy Mardi Gras.